My name is Lance. I am 41 years old and I was diagnosed with HHT a little over a year ago. I only started to suspect I had health issues about 4 years ago when I was headed out on a date night with my wife and started to have some very strange symptoms. Since that day 4 years ago, my health started to deplete and I started having very strange symptoms, and I just couldn't seem to recover from whatever was going on at the time. The reason I came to wonder if something like HHT was even going on with me was actually because I have two daughters, now they're 10 and 14, who had some similar symptoms. I've had nosebleeds my entire life. They've had a couple nosebleeds here and there, but I also have what's called petechia in my mouth, on my tongue, and even now I know on my fingertips, which is a potential symptom of HHT. My two daughters, again, showing some of those symptoms, I started to really push for answers that really just put things in a different perspective for me and gave me the direction actually that I needed to get a diagnosis. I was confirmed with HHT, and not too long after, my two daughters got tested and they were also diagnosed. And that was the important part and start of our journey, is finding that diagnosis and having a direction to go in. I soon learned that through a series of tests, I have pulmonary arterial venous malformations, misconnections between veins and the arteries in my lungs, and they were potentially problematic and probably causing problems before that. I was having difficulty breathing, and these pulmonary AVMs can cause a lot of problems. So having a diagnosis was important to me because it was the steps in the right direction, and then we could set up a plan with my specialists, my HHT doctors, to find out what was going on with my body, and through a series of tests with my daughters, finding out what sort of care they needed. And it really set the blueprint for what our family needed to take care of ourselves, to monitor, and really just better understand what was going on and plan for the future. I think one of the things that stood out to me since having my HHT diagnosis and becoming involved with advocating and awareness within our community is really just seeing how every person and every family with HHT has a unique story, and it affects them and their families uniquely. Some people may know that, from other family members that they have HHT, but others don't know until something happens. And that's a very unfortunate part of our disorder, is that sometimes we just don't see it, we don't know it until something happens. Awareness is important, support and resources like Cure HHT is important, and getting our stories out there to share with others so they may be aware about it, is really important. I had the opportunity this past February to meet with Cure HHT and join them at Washington, D.C. to explain to our politicians what it's like to go through with this disorder, and ask them for support, funding, further research, and continued education and building of centers of excellence for the disorder. And that felt very important to me as soon as I learned about it, even though I'm still not feeling 100%, but I wasn't feeling 100% at the time. I knew that was important to me to take that journey and share that experience, and I'm very glad I did. Not only to be able to tell my story and really get a first-hand experience of what that was like, but also to meet Cure HHT, feel like a part of a community, feel like a part of a family, and feel like I was finally heard and that people understood what I was going through. Cure HHT is at the heart of what is needed to move forward. They are doing the work. They are working with medical professionals and researchers. And honestly, I believe personally that what Cure HHT can find will not only be important to our disorder, but to other science and health issues out there. So I'm hopeful for that.